Today on Drawbli,
Ben is drawing a barn owl.
hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are self-taught artists documenting our journey of learning to draw, which is of course better with friends.
So hit that subscribe button if you're new around here and share your work on Instagram with #Drawbli.
I'm drawing a barn owl.
Ooh.
Who? No, me, Abby. I'm drawing who I am. I'm drawing a barn owl.
And a beautiful barn owl he is.
Yes, beautiful indeed. I've been talking about wanting to do an animal because we've been doing so many human faces, and human faces are so hard. And the last time I did an animal, which I think was a cow, it didn't turn out so great. So I was a little scared to do an animal again.
But I have seen the finished result, and you had nothing to fear. This barn owl is incredible.
Why, thank you. I did some normal painting that I do. You know how I like to do painting? Sometimes?
Yeah.
That's what I did here.
So what's normal painting to you?
What's normal painting? The lines part, of course.
Of course.
The paint part, where you
Yes.
just block in the stuff.
As it goes.
And then all the other steps.
Wow.
Paint the rest of the owl,
Paint
literally.
the rest of the owl,
The
literally.
meme.
The meme itself, the myth, the legend.
I'll pull that up on screen because I'm sure a lot of people might not know what that is. It's kind of an older thing at this point.
As old as the internet itself.
Oh my god, we're so old.
We're here at the dawn of the internet. We're gonna be such relics in our old age when people are like, you were there at the dawn of the internet?
When you were there before the internet? Ugh.
It'll be like saying, yeah, I remember when cars were made.
Yeah. Hi, oh god. Or I remember when smartphones, when we were kids, cell phones existed, but not smartphones.
Correct.
Smartphones didn't come out till like late high school.
Yeah.
Maybe like senior year of high school, I think is like.
The history books read, smartphones did not come out until late high school. Whose high school age? We don't know,
No
but it was
one
late
knows.
high school.
Abby, have you done any animal drawings lately?
Oh, have I?
Oh, you have?
I have.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yes.
Would it be a spoiler for you to tell me?
Not at all. Not at all.
What have you been working on?
Sheep.
Sheep?
Yes.
And,
I love sheep.
I feel. Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, why?
Because they're cute.
They're cute.
Yes.
As cute as this barn owl?
Yes. This barn owl is also very cute, but so are sheep.
Barn owl feels like such a generic name for such a magnificent-looking creature.
You're right. There must be a better name. It's not like the snowy owl or the great horned owl.
Yeah, which aren't as cool and like alien-looking as this creature.
I would call this the ghost owl.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be a perfect name for it?
It would.
And owls are so ghost-like, where they're so silent with their wings.
Wow.
A ghost owl would be the perfect name.
But we're just like, yeah, this beautiful, magnificent creature, barn owl.
Barn. It lives in a barn, a human construct, and therefore we name it based on the human construct in which it began to reside once we started building those.
Well, I mean, a ghost is a human construct.
What
as
did they
well.
call these owls before they made barns?
They didn't call them anything.
They did. They just had a different name.
No. No, it's lost to the ages.
Maybe they called them ghost owls.
Maybe.
Who knows?
No. Who
Who knows?
So you've been painting sheep, and I've been painting an owl. Now I've seen the sheep that you have been painting, and I don't want to talk about them too much because I know that you're working on them, and it's gonna be a big video. It's gonna be a big deal.
I mean, there's at least 5 hours of content in this video.
A 5-hour Drawbli video?
Well, it's sped up.
Okay. All right.
It's 5 hours of drawing sped up.
This owl only took me a couple hours, but I think I worked on it pretty rough for my first hour pass, and then my last hour, 45 minutes, was pretty much just working on the eyes and the area around the eyes and really creating as much detail and focus there.
The eyes turned out magnificently. I am very pleased with what you did with them. Great job.
I really want to work on, I mean, there's so many things with drawing and painting, and we talk about this all the time, but the one that like really just honed in for me here was texture and like how there are just so many different kinds of textures, and it's all just so freaking hard all the time. So with the owl, I was pretty happy in the end where I got it to, but like the journey there of me painting it, like during the process, was just so hard. Like there were so many different parts of like texture, like around the beak, here along like what I'm going to call the beard of feathers.
Ooh, I like your gravel work there.
Thank you. Yes, gravel. So I was just trying to get some texture in some different areas. These little dots do not stay there. They get faded out pretty strongly and then pretty much disappear altogether later on. But I was noticing some kind of like reflected blue light from these leaves.
Yeah.
It almost makes me think that this owl, and this might be a little sad to say, might be taxidermied and might not be real.
Who knows? There's some nature photographers who just do incredible things with incredible work. So
the reason why I say that is because the blue reflected light coming from the right side of this image feels a little fake and artificial, with the black background and the kind of bluish lights reflecting off these leaves.
Maybe he's in an animal sanctuary and they're doing a photo shoot to promote the animal sanctuary.
You might be right. I have no idea. I found this image on Google, so I have no idea.
We'll never know this owl's story.
So I was talking about texture. The hardest part for this image for me was actually these leaves.
The leaves,
Yeah.
really? Oh, look, is that because some of them are blurred out partially?
There's
and some are in
focus.
focus?
Yeah. A lot of it had to do with the focus and just trying to create the idea of leaves. Because I didn't want to sit there and like paint every single leaf.
Isn't it interesting to look at some of the big works by artists and you start to actually look at it and realize that they really did get in there and make sure every leaf was in its correct spot? You can see like, oh, they did not use a leaf brush, and here we are witnessing that in action. Every leaf.
Well, I didn't draw every leaf, but also I'll say for a lot of those works, you'll notice that many or most artists do not do that. They're definitely more focused on the bigger picture.
No, but that's why it stands out when somebody does.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay. If you say so. But I got some of my crazy colors in there as well with the
Ooh,
owl. Did
yeah.
you notice? I don't think you were looking. You were just on a rampage making fun of my owl. Are you yawning at my owl? You are, oh my goodness, Abby. You have not yawned on Drawbli in so long, but every time you do it, I am going to call it out.
I love the confetti colors. I can see them now that we're zoomed in more. I love those.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, noise. Whenever I think of it, I make a new layer and add some noise on it over top and keep that there for later.
Oh, cool. I like that.
I believe that this is right around the halfway point where I came back and I was like, okay, time to refine all this texture in the face as well as the beard and try to just clean things up because it felt so Marco Bucci, let's talk about Marco Bucci for a
Talk
sec.
to me about Marco Bucci.
Marco Bucci sucks.
No, he doesn't.
Exactly. He's too good. That's what I'm saying. He's so good that he sucks.
No.
Because he's like, he gets in there and he's like, yeah, guys, I'm just going to use all these random brushes of nothing texture and I make it work. And I'm like, yeah, me too, Marco. Me too, Dad. He tries it, fails entirely. I'm like, oh man. Dang it, again, foiled again by Marco Bucci.
There must be some theory to that makes it work. Like maybe it's like a deeper understanding of form. Also, I love what you're doing, pushing your values here. This is really cool, and I love this part of the process. But maybe a deeper understanding of form where he's like, it doesn't matter what brush I'm using as long as I'm communicating form.
Doesn't matter what brush he's using because he's too damn good.
He's so good.
He is. So I've been, every once in a while, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try using some random texture brushes, just like Dad, and fail. So,
Yeah.
This is me rectifying or attempting to rectify as much of that as possible. I've actually been talking about maybe the past 3 months, maybe longer now, how I only use a hard round brush I want to get really good at using just the most basic of brushes, because once I get really good at just that fundamental basic brush, I think I'm gonna be really easily able to implement like texture and different things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of our longtime commenters, Lord Backdoor, also known by his YouTube channel, Old Dude Draws, do check it out. It's really good. He had a whole video where he just focused on using one brush to create a landscape and espoused that same theory of like, get as far as you can using a very simple brush, and you will be delighted with how far you can go once you start to add textured brushes.
So I've been using that round brush a lot lately.
Yeah.
This was one piece where I was like, I'm gonna start using some texture, because we've been doing a lot of portraits, and of course on a face you can't do like a ton of stuff with texture brushes, because it starts to get kind of a little crazy too fast. So this was something where I could get a little more experimental with some of those different texture brushes, and then of course fail and try to rectify a lot of it later.
Yes.
What's your thought process on the brushes that you use? Because we have not talked about the brushes that you use lately.
Yeah, so like you were saying, I have spent a lot of the week drawing sheep and allowing myself to use very random textured brushes, being very loose, flowy, seeing where they go, and making this a quantity over quality process of exploring that. So that's why in one of our next videos, you'll see me draw 5 sheep, and I only give myself 1 hour per sheep. And for many of those, I'm trying to use like a textured brush or new textures, or the opposite completely. I'll be like, oh, round brush for me. But my theory right now is it's so new to me that a quantity over quality approach is where I need to start.
What is so new to you?
Using just a bunch of random textured brushes to communicate the
going full Bucci.
Going full Bucci. Yes. These eyes are so cool. It's so fun to watch you take such a detailed, like long process with them, and they end up so amazing, so worth it. It's nice when those kinds of efforts pay off, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. This was definitely an exercise in creating areas of focus, where the bottom of the owl I end up completely blending like to oblivion later, because I'm like, there's nothing going on down here. I don't need to create all this texture or detail down here. It's just going to be better off if I alleviate all of that form and force you to like focus where I spent all my time and all my hard work. I think that's something that I'm getting better at as I paint more.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree. It's something I'm starting to vaguely pick up on as well. I like it when we're kind of learning adjacently. That's kind of fun when we're like almost making the same milestones at the same time. But this milestone is leaps and bounds ahead, because those eyes are incredible. And I don't know if I would have approached them the same way or gotten the same result. So good job.
Ooh, you know what we have not done in a very long time?
What?
Wait, have we actually ever... we've had to have done this on Drawbli. I can't remember. Maybe you'll know. Have we ever drawn from the same reference image?
I don't know that we have.
I don't think...
Maybe like really early Drawbli?
Yeah, maybe like really early. We've done things where we've swapped back and forth and worked on the same image. We've done that. But I don't know if we've ever worked from the exact same... I think we had to have.
Do you want to try it?
We should do that. We should do that for
Should we do a portrait or like an animal or a landscape?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
We don't have to be super strict and decide right now.
Yeah. We can have our brainstorming session while we record.
For sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
I like it.
Actually, we should let some people comment below. Maybe they have some good ideas for something we could do that with.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We'll combine our ideas with their ideas.
Yes, instead of doing an animal or a person, it can be an animorph.
An animorph, absolutely. Well, if you want to be an animorph, click that like and subscribe button.
And share your work on Instagram with #Drawbli, because drawing is better with friends.
And this is the part where we say goodbye.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed my owl. I'm very excited to see your sheep.
Thank you. Your owl is a nice finished product. My sheep, not so much, but they're cute. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.